July 9, 2016. A man stands over a bar loaded with 500 kilograms of solid steel, half a metric ton. Scientists said the human spine would snap under this weight. Doctors warned that the pressure would cause the brain to hemorrhage. But Eddie Hall wasn't listening to the scientists. He was listening to the voice in his head that had been screaming at him for 20 years. He grips the bar. His face turns a terrifying shade of purple. Blood begins to leak from his nose. And then the impossible happens. Before he was a giant, Eddie was a lost boy. Growing up in Newcastle-under-Lyme, which is a market town in Staffordshire, England, where he was a championship swimmer, but his temper was as big as his frame. He was expelled from school at 15. He struggled with deep depression and anxiety. While other kids were planning their careers, Eddie was in the gym, moving weights to silence the noise in his head. He realized he wasn't just strong, he was a freak of nature. He began working as a truck mechanic, spending 10 hours a day under heavy machinery and then 4 hours a day in the gym. He wasn't training for health, he was training for war. He decided right then, I will be the world's strongest man, no matter what. To be the best, Eddie had to stop being human. His life became a scientific experiment. He had to eat 12,000 calories a day. He had to wake up in the middle of the night just to eat protein shakes so his muscles wouldn't shrink. He missed family birthdays. He missed his children's milestones. He lived in a constant state of physical pain. Look at the deadlift world records. They usually go up by 1 or 2 kilograms at a time. In 2016, Eddie did something insane. He decided to jump the record by 35 kilograms in one go. He wanted to hit the 500 kg mark, a number so big it was considered a death sentence. He walks onto the platform. He later admitted he used dark visualization, imagining he was lifting a car off his children to trigger a massive surge of adrenaline. He pulls. The bar bends like a plastic straw. The room goes silent. He locks it out. The crowd explodes. But then, the horror. Eddie collapses. His eyes go crossed. He is temporarily blind. The pressure in his head was so great that several blood vessels in his brain had burst. He was bleeding from his ears and nose. He had reached the summit, but he had almost stayed there forever. 1 year later, Eddie Hall fulfilled his final promise. He won the world's strongest man title, and then he retired. He had nothing left to prove. Eddie Hall's story isn't just about lifting weights. It's about the fact that the limits we see are often just illusions. He was a failed student, a depressed teen, and a crazy mechanic. But he turned all that darkness into the fuel that lifted half a ton. So what is your 500 kg? What is the impossible goal you have been too afraid to pull? Remember, the world only calls you crazy until you succeed. After that, they call you a legend. If you are ready to lift your own weight today, hit that like button and subscribe and stay strong.